So, Don, we're going to get into then about you talking about the environment of where your house is, all the drug dealers living around there and everything, and just answer that and talk about it however you want to.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there is a lot of drug issues of people, that are searching for meth or pills or whatever. But like the other morning, I posted some pictures, of that red truck. That started at 3 a.m, and they's out there raising Cain, at 3 a.m. But so we don't know, and we've had stuff come up missing, and people are in and out of there all the time. And I didn't really realize how rough it was there, till something disappeared. But, yeah, there's a lot going on around there.
Yeah, it's not something you really think about until all of a sudden you're paying attention.
At night, all hours of the night, looking to
A phone call when you're on this, the way that we're recording this, when you get a phone call, it really messes with everything.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Let's just start from the beginning there again and tell us about your tell us about your environment, all of the drug dealers that live by you and that.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of people that come around, constantly, day and night, all hours of the night, looking for pills or whatever, meth, I don't know, but yeah, we see that a lot. Like the picture I posted of the little red truck, he got stuck there at 3 a.m, and they're yelling and screaming since 3 that morning. So when I went to work that morning, that's the first thing I was dealing with, and then until the police showed up. But yeah, that's pretty common in that area. A lot of rough characters around there, for sure.
Yeah, that sounds pretty.
Since you bring up the red truck, how did that tip come into play? Was that you that brought that up because you saw the red truck, or did somebody else bring that into play and tell you guys there was a red truck, or how exactly did the red truck come into the picture?
When I was leaving for work that morning, there was a guy at the bottom of my driveway wanting me to pull start his four-wheeler. And then the police showed up, and he asked if I could go ahead and pull it over to his truck. So, and the policeman said, "Yeah, Mr. Wells, just pull it over there," and so I did. And when we got there, I seen the truck on the bank of the ditch there, high centered, and I asked the officers, "Can I take some pictures?" He said, "No problem, Mr. Wells, go ahead." And he started asking him for paperwork. And when I went to the side of the truck to take a picture, there was some woman stuck her head out. There was a woman in that truck, and she looked like she ain't combed her hair for like 2 months. I don't know, but she just laid back down in there and covered up. But that kind of stuff is constant in our area, and all kind of stuff going on. I think meth is becoming what it always has been, but it's getting worse. I guess it's a serious problem. I guess it is everywhere, but yeah.
And that was the morning?
Well, sir, I didn't.
Sorry, that was that morning you left for work that happened with the four-wheeler and that?
Yes.
So the police were there June 15th, early in the morning then as well.
Yeah, they just showed up because somebody else had called the law.
Wow. Well, you already know what I'm thinking, but we can't say it on this, so wow. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, just for funsies and to give the people a laugh, were you hiding in that shed when Chris did the interview with his wife? Or with your wife?
No, I was actually at work, and that's one of the things that made me mad when he commented something like that. I mean, knowing that all these people are watching his show, and we let him come up there to our house, and he's going to do us like that. Man, I just thought that was real unprofessional. It really upset me.
Definitely understandably, because when you put your trust in someone and then they turn around and try and paint you as the bad guy. And it seems like it's doing that just for views too. I don't understand why he's going after you specifically so hard. But yeah, I'm not him, so I don't know why he's doing that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of speculation, and there's a lot of people talking to him, and it's unbelievable how Facebook, how it is. Anyway, yeah, it's bad.
Dawn, can you tell us if they verified that you were at work that day? Do you know if they've spoken to your boss?
I don't know exactly what they verified, but my boss, Richard Tucker, he knows. He talked to me that day. I also talked to Jamie Killian. He was there. I talked to him for 30, 40 minutes after, that day too. But trying to remember, but I think I talked to Richard about 30 minutes before I got the phone call, and then I had to load my tools up and head to the house as fast as I could. So, yeah. But I think they could tell that I was driving a Subaru that day, so I think they could tell by that too, because it's a brand new Subaru. I don't know.
Yeah, they should be able to track everything that happened that day. I think that's why there was a big issue when you said you thought it could have been 5:30. Can you clarify the 5:30? Is that when you thought Candace called you, or is that when you thought you got home?
Well, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember exactly, but until TBI reminded me that it was 6:30 when we called, because that's what the 911 said. It was 6:30 exactly. And also my wife, I guess she looked on her messenger and was able to verify that too. Around the time that she called 911 was 6:30. So yeah, I don't know why I was thinking 5:30, but I guess I was just wrong in that.
Well, messing up the time by an hour.
Okay, people are wondering, why did you choose to drive the Subaru that day? Why not your work truck?
Oh, because the Subaru, since the boys have been out of school and everything, I was just sitting there, and I'm paying quite a bit of money for it. And I thought, well, I might as well get some use out of it. I'm wearing out my truck, but I'm pretty hard on vehicles, so I decided just to drive it for a while. That's all. Put some miles on it, because it was just sitting there, really.
Yeah, why not go to work in a nice vehicle?
Yeah. And in fact, my boss commented the day that my boss commented that day that Summer went missing, just before I got that phone call. He was making fun of me. He says, "That's a hell of a car to be putting a bunch of damn drywall tools in." He was just giving me a hard time. That's how he knows where I was, right, because of that.
Yeah. Oh, and one real quick question, because of the vehicle thing. Grandma's car, Candace's mom's truck there, did it have a topper on it?
Yeah, it's got a topper on it, yes.
Okay.
So
I heard both, so I just want to make sure.
is there a red tote or something? You did arrive there finally. Why did you not go up to the driveway first? Why did you stop at the shed first? Did you go in the shed, not go in the shed, or just why did you not go directly to the house and talk to Candace right away? Explain that.
Okay. The reason I went to the bottom property first is because I knew that they were looking all over around the house and in that area and everything. So I figured, by the time I got home, the best place that I could go would be directly down to that creek. I didn't even stop at the shed. I went by it, but I went down that steep bank all the way down into the creek with that little Subaru. And when I seen my boys and I seen my neighbor, that's when my heart, my heart just sunk right there. I just knew something was really wrong, you know. So that was the beginning of this pit in my stomach that hasn't went away yet, and it's not going to, I don't believe. But so then I turned around, went back up that bank, and I might have looked in the shed at that time. I can't remember for sure, but I know I looked in the shed at some point. But I went back up to the top, and I do believe there might have been a cop car or two there at that time, but I'm not sure. I can't be positive on that because I'm just so mixed up. And
Guys, hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Hope you have a wonderful Friday night. As we look at these pictures, if you'll notice, they are the same, some of the same pictures that I put on yesterday's video. And I'll explain why here in just a minute. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, share, and please, 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 please comment. I want your thoughts, your theories, your ideas, any kind of explanation you. I'm going to say I may have been mistaken, or I may be mistaken about what I think I know as far as this is concerned. So please, if I'm wrong, don't be mean. Just explain to me. If I'm wrong, explain to me the correct thing, okay? Now, if I remember correctly, Don Wells explains that the morning of June the 15th, 2021, he gets up out of bed, he leaves to go to work. When he gets to the bottom of the driveway, he finds a truck that's off in the ditch. And there's a cop that comes, and there's something to do with a four-wheeler, and some girl is looking, or woman is looking out the truck, giving him an evil eye because he's taking pictures of it. Remember, he asked the cop if he could take pictures, and they said yes, that was fine. Okay, guys, when I put this out yesterday, I didn't realize this is the pictures that he was talking about that he took. This is actually the pictures where I'm thinking it is the pictures that were taken the morning Summer went missing. Now, if I'm wrong and somebody knows different, please let me know. But I would, it has the truck that's off in the ditch. It has the cop car that showed up. It even has the four-wheeler. And it even has, if you'll look in the rear view mirror that you can see on here, that's Don Wells taking pictures in his white work truck. Now, if I'm wrong about this, please let me know. But I do believe that I'm correct. See, if you look behind the cop car in that one photo, there's a four-wheeler. There's a red truck. I'm not saying it's the red truck that was supposedly seen on the 14th or the 15th. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it's the one that Don says was off the road the morning he went to work. Now, if I'm correct about that story, and that's when that supposedly happened, was the morning Summer went missing. And surprise, surprise, I had these pictures and didn't even realize it until I kept looking at them last night. They're taking the pictures. We do see that. Wait a minute, guys. Wasn't Don supposed to be driving the red Subaru to work on the 15th of June, 2021? But he's in the white truck. Isn't that a little weird? Very weird if you ask me. If this is even the same day, but I don't know what. Works all day until he gets a phone call stating that Summer Wells is missing. He rushes home. He gets home. Law enforcement confiscates work all day from the time he took these pictures till the time he gets home, and then they confiscate his phone. Well, when did he give these pictures out to somebody else? Getting back.
Wow, there you go.
83% of these animals show signs
To the pictures of the red truck, we need to find out how he got those pictures. Does Don and Candace Wells actually know this man? And we also need to find out why Don is in the white truck instead of the red Subaru on his way to work on the 15th.
to, I'll pause and then say what I think it says in the video. Hey Joyce, good to see you. Good to see everyone jumping in a little bit late. Haley Taylor, good to see you. Ro, Kat, Ray, good to see you. Finally caught a live for the first time in a while. Good to see you, Ray. Diamond Paul, Bluegrass Mama Bear, Cindy Stevens. I guess Cindy was in here earlier, but good to see you all in here. Thanks for tapping that like button on the way in, everyone. Here is the first 911 call, and then we'll talk about it. So that, I can't really make out what she's saying there. I think she said something like 3/4 of a mile or something like that. But this is what is able to be made out from this video.
Shot tag. There's a maroon truck appears to be abandoned, partially in the roadway.
Okay, did anyone catch that? Let's play it again.
Shot tag road. Size off of 11W. It's going to be about 3/4 of a mile. Now shot tag. There's a maroon truck appears to be abandoned, partially in the roadway.
The person on this call says there appears to be a maroon truck. A maroon truck appears to be abandoned partially on the roadway. Now, if you remember from the beginning part of when Summer Wells went missing, there was this maroon truck that was always attached to her being missing, whether it was on the flyers or just being talked about. I want to know, as someone who talks about the Summer Wells case fairly often, has the maroon truck ever been ruled out by law enforcement? Several people, I think maybe a couple months into covering the Summer Wells stuff, they were telling me like the maroon truck isn't a big deal. They've cleared that. And then I remember, I feel like more people now are talking about the maroon truck here and there. And I'm like, wait, did they not clear the maroon truck? Are they not interested in that? Is that even part of... Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Laura says, maroon truck. Someone called in on the lab about having a confrontation with someone in the maroon truck. I wonder if that was the Scott E. Skulls guy. Because he, and I can... So... Mrs. Hippie Mysteries, you just missed the first 911 call. We're about to play the second one real quick. I might as well play the first one more to you or for you. And they basically just talk about a red truck being abandoned. This is a 911 call that happened from the day that Summer Wells went missing, supposedly.
3/4 of a mile. Now shot tag. There's a maroon truck appears to be abandoned, partially in the roadway.
There appears to be a maroon truck abandoned in the roadway. Now, these videos that are playing along with it right here is just general driving video. They have nothing to do with the 911 call, okay? Now, the second 911 call is a little bit more, I don't know if it's a little more interesting, but it's definitely, it's a little bit odd. So let's listen to that one. Real quick, Bug Love, before we go to the second one. The video was a mistake. Supposedly the video was a mistake made by Grandis, okay? That's what their story is. Their story is the reason why Grandma turned around and made a quick video of Summer is because she was trying to take a photo and accidentally took a video. That's fine. But why would they then take another photo of her? Because the photos, any of the photos that you see, none of them, if you can't line them up to match any of the frames in the video. So the photos that we're seeing are not just screenshots from the video. I mean, there are probably some that are, but that's what I'm talking about is like, they were trying to catch her arms in a weird position. Why would they take another photo even before that if her arms weren't in that position? It's very odd. Go check out my last video if you want me kind of really breaking that down. Chris Davis, hello, good to see you, my friend. All right, here's the
36,
second
go ahead.
36, I know you're out at the ER. I just received a call advising there's two kids, approximately a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, standing on the side of the road. Going to be right around the East Tennessee Iron and Metal, waving at cars as they go by. No adults are around. They're close to a blue house.
10-4, Get him when I clear here.
10-4. He's going on a patrol check of 2 children on 66 South, standing by the roadway with no adults.
Where's that first book? Where's that? Well,
So that's the second call. Now that one's a little bit. It's the first one's very weird because the ties to the red or the maroon truck. Okay, the ties that initially when Summer Wells went missing, there was suspicion or interest around a possible red truck that was near 110 Ben Hill Road. This one, that I think the first one is possibly more interesting, but because of the red or the maroon truck thing. The two people the two people on the side of the road, I think could just be a coincidence, but them talking about it says, I just received a call, approximately a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old standing on the side of the road around East Tennessee Iron and Metal, waving at cars going by. 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. Summer Wells at the time was 5. Crispy Treat says this wasn't anywhere near Summer's house. I think, look, I bet that they would probably be able to clear this up very easily. And I would love to know if this was just and I'm sure it was just some kids throwing rocks at cars. But to say it's not close to Summer Wells's house, I think is unfair. I mean, this is as close to Summer Wells's house almost to Kingsport. I mean, this is only 23 miles away. So if we're talking about a possibility of someone getting in a car and going this way, this is the East Tennessee Iron and Metal. Obviously, the idea of Summer Wells getting to this position or this area of the state on foot, yeah, that makes no sense. But it is still interesting nonetheless. This was probably, once again, this isn't as interesting, I think, as the first 911 call of the abandoned or supposedly abandoned red truck. But I just wanted to mention it because it was apparently another 911 call that came in that day. This isn't that far from Summer's house. It's not a mile away, but 23 miles probably takes about 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. Yeah, it's saying 32 minutes to drive. So a half an hour by car. Bug Love, how far is Iron and Metal from 110? Yeah, that's what we're showing right here, 110 Ben Hill. And then I even showed, if you were to go from 110 Ben Hill to Knoxville, for example, you would go right next to where this Iron and Metal place is. You would pass very close to it here on Highway 66, depending on how long you would stay before you got on Interstate 81 or Highway 81, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, do I think this has anything to do with Summer? No. Do I think that the first part of the 911 call of the abandoned maroon truck is a little bit weird? It's a little bit more strange.